Hello and welcome to Tome of Uselessness. I'm Devin.
I'm Dan.
And we're back.
Yeah.
After a little bit of a break where Dan did all the work and I did nothing.
Try to.
Yeah. So Dan, how's it going?
It's going well. There's a couple things I want to point out before we get into our topic, as it were. It's our 50th episode.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It's been 2 years since we've been doing the podcast.
Has it really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, this is a special thing. We should have confetti or my phone should stop buzzing at the very least.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. We reached the 50 milestone, as it were.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations to us.
Yeah, and thanks for people listening.
Yeah, that's
in.
rad.
Yeah. And otherwise, things are going well. I was going to say, into a things we like this week segue.
Yeah.
Instead of me sitting here talking for half an hour about all the books I've read since we recorded, I recorded a small episode that is out about a lot of the books I've read recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everyone should go download that if you haven't already. Listen to Dan talk all by himself.
Yay! Just South Park, new season has started.
Oh, nice. That's still going, eh?
Yeah, yes, as long as they still have ideas. I think... last I read, they were renewed for quite a while, but then I think somebody wanted to do a longer deal, and they were kind of like, no, or it was a vice versa kind of thing. Because they're never sure if they just want to keep it going.
You know what? Speaking of things getting canceled, this will be the last season of BoJack that comes out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It just recently got announced that there will not be another season, so...
And that comes out pretty soon.
October or something or other.
Yeah, so around the time this episode is out.
Yeah, so when we do an episode on that, it'll be our last BoJack episode.
Oh, darn.
Full circle. Because it was our first episode, wasn't it?
It was.
We won't stop, though. Will we?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. We're not canceled. Take that, the network. I don't know what our network would be.
Sure.
We'll have to make our own.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
And then not cancel ourselves.
And then not cancel ourselves. Cancel ourselves and then bring us back the next week.
That's right.
By popular demand.
Yeah. What about yourself? Anything you liked recently?
My brain is mush.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing new there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've been rewatching some old light Halloween movies, family-friendly Halloween movies.
Fun.
So I rewatched Hocus Pocus a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
And then we rewatched Death Becomes Her.
Nice. Haven't seen that one in a while. Yeah.
It's so 90s, I guess. Yeah. But it's still it's Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis. So I don't know. They're a pretty good little trio. And Goldie Hawn has some excellent spooky contacts after she gets shot.
Yeah.
Spoilers, she gets shot.
Yeah.
And the next week we're going to watch Witches, which I haven't seen in forever.
Nice. We went with Angelica Houston. Right?
Yeah. Based on the Roald Dahl book. Yeah.
That was a good movie. I don't think it's... I think probably in many ways it's not a good movie, but it's a great movie.
I think it's worth watching for the makeup.
Oh, yeah. They look great.
I mean, a lot of it is a little mouse running around.
Yeah. That's fair.
But I think it is a good movie, so fuck you.
No, I'm down with the movie. I just mean probably in technical aspects or this or that, but it's it's a good little fun witches romp, as it were.
Yeah, it is a romp.
Yeah.
I tried to rewatch Charlie's Angels the other day because I just like watching it over and over again.
Okay.
And I accidentally set my Amazon Prime to French and I can't figure out how to unset it.
So was it translated or was it subtitled?
It was dubbed in French, which is fine because I can understand it for the most part.
But the jokes just don't land. Man.
They don't land. No. And it does remind me of being in elementary school because we always used to, because I did French immersion, so we always used to watch these poorly dubbed French movies, like The Peanut Butter Solution.
I don't know.
That might have actually been a French movie.
It's possible. And I would say, as someone who also grew up French,
poorly dubbed
French movies are they're no good. The dialogue, I mean, when they take something translated into French, it's the jokes just
they don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't watch the Peanut Butter Solution, did you?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
It's like a kid goes bald and then he puts peanut butter on his head, and that's all I remember. I think there was an elaborate escape with a skateboard.
That sounds like a good kids movie, though.
Yeah, very, very kiddish.
Yeah.
What else? I think that's it. I've been like... I rewatched a couple episodes of another show, Gallivant.
I've never heard of that.
It was like an ABC show that was like a comedy musical about a knight.
I would hope so with a title like that.
Yeah. And it's very like it's very like ABC Family Channel.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of mediocre.
Sure, it's like something you can put on and do something else and you don't have to sit there and focus on it.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like catchy song.
Yeah,
okay, go back to doing whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
I don't know. Nothing extremely interesting on my part because I've been busy doing things.
Hooray, things. I guess that brings us to our topic, though, because we did both watch this.
Yes, we did.
Disenchantment Season 2 on Netflix.
Hooray!
Yeah. Came out a year after, of course, the Season 1, and I don't think we did an episode. I swear we did, but maybe we just talked about it.
I think we just mentioned it, yeah.
Because I was like, I thought we did an episode about it, but...
Yeah, I know, you texted me, or like, we should re-release the first part, and I'm like... There wasn't one. There's nothing
I guess
to
it just,
re-release.
in my brain, we did one. Yeah. But we did one about Season 2.
It's just you talking to yourself.
It's also possible, which is what I record anyway.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was no Season 1 episode, so now we're going to do Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess, did you like it?
Yeah. So I rewatched Season 1... Mm-hmm. And then rolled right into Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on the Friday it was released, I only had one more episode of Season 1 to watch, so it's I watched and then just rolled right into Season 2. And I watched it in a couple days, and I very much did enjoy it, but I have some qualms with it.
Okay.
Probably surprising, that's why we do a show like this.
What?
But overall, it was still really good. I still really enjoyed it. I liked the characters, and I liked the things happening. And would watch more and recommend watching this.
Cool.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed it.
Yes.
I enjoyed it more than Season 1.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. I thought it I found Season 1 had peaks and valleys as far as the humor went.
Right.
And I think that Season 2 is similar, but it had more peaks and valleys.
Sure. Okay.
And I was more involved with the story in Season 2.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
And the characters. I just liked everyone more. I don't know why.
No.
Maybe it was
better writing.
less depressed when I watched.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it.
Cool. So 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I should point out that they're not calling it Season 1 and 2. They're calling it Part 1 and 2.
I noticed that.
I think there's a Part 3 and then that's it, right?
There is definitely an announced Part 3, but they haven't again announced if they're going to do any more. Yeah. But I think initially, even when they did Part 1, or Season 1, or when it was first even a deal, they had only announced they were a 2 to 3 season thing. Yeah. So I could definitely see it ending in Season 3.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with it.
I would and I wouldn't be. Depends on what they do.
I enjoy it, so I might enjoy more seasons.
That's what I mean.
But I also like to see things while they're still good before they go down in flames.
I also agree with that. I was having this discussion with a coworker the other day, where television now, especially with streaming services, and there's nothing wrong with releasing a 1 or 2 seasons, it's solid, and you're done, and you move on.
Yeah.
Our American Gods episode was a classic example of networks just trying to milk a story that should be over.
When you compare American Gods to Good Omens, I mean, Good Omens is vastly superior.
Sure.
They just stuck to the book and told a story, and then it was done.
It's 6 episodes of greatness.
Yeah, all the people wanted Season 2, which is hilarious.
What?
From what I can tell on the internet, the stans just want, the Crowley and Aziraphale married life.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I would probably be in the dissent opinion on that, but okay.
I guess the only thing that I could really see them do is having adventures before the end of the world happened.
Right, back when they show the flashbacks.
But
anyway,
no,
we're not talking about that.
What? We're not talking about Good Omens?
We already did that once. I don't know how you want to approach this. I mean, I have some notes about episodes, or what do you want to do?
Your notes. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
But you did just finish it today.
I did this morning.
Well, I want to start right at the beginning then of season 2.
Sounds good.
Because it picks up immediately after the end of season 1.
Yes.
Which was good.
I liked that.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool as well, because it just Bean like wakes up and then she's like, oh my god, oh wait, all that stuff did happen. And her mom's there, and they go to Maru.
Dagmar, her mom.
Dagmar, her mom. Yes.
Yeah, I remember names.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I really liked the look of Maru and like how everything was all.
Oh my gosh, I loved the look of everything in this season. I thought they really stepped up. Not that season 1 looked bad, but I thought they really pushed themselves and showed us some cool...
There was a lot more varied locations.
Yeah,
for sure.
Cool locations.
Yeah, definitely more varied locations in this season.
Like when they go to hell. I'm spoiling it.
No, that's alright.
Fuck you. But I thought hell looked really, really good.
That's like my first note.
Hell looks good.
It looked great, yeah. I guess we should probably say spoilers for the whole thing here.
Listen, they go to hell in like episode 2. So.
Yeah, and
fuck you.
Yeah, so Maru looked great, and then here was kind of a problem I had, is all of a sudden the whole story just like rapid fire blows right through this whole plot that could be developed about her with her mom and then secret society and what the heck she was doing, and then it turns out the other people are her
aunt
sibling,
and uncle.
her aunt and uncle, and then they go to hell. You know what I mean? I just felt like I was not expecting, because here's my main crux problem, which I'll probably end up repeating at the end, is that because the show is released on a Netflix platform all at once, and season 1 was very much kind of like introduce the characters, introduce the situation in the world. It was kind of fun, but this one I was expecting a far more serialized story. And it is serialized, but it's like half serialized. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you didn't want an overarching story?
No, I did, is my problem.
Oh, isn't that what serialized means? That they're all episodic?
Yeah, like I wanted serialization. Or
I don't know if we were on the same page for what that means, but
maybe.
You wanted more of an overarching story.
Yeah.
And not like individual adventures.
Correct.
Okay.
But that's because it's like half overarching story, because they continue along the same timeline. Yeah. But it's like, this whole Maru thing could have been half a season.
Yeah, it could have.
Yeah. At least 2 episodes. Like that. It just seemed so fast that I was like, look at all these elements they're introducing, and then blam, they're gone. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it was sad when Jerry died.
Yeah. Jerry! That's one of my favorite jokes. Like, even though it's like so ridiculous.
You know what one of my favorite moments in this season was? When God and Jerry were having that conversation at the end of the episode, and Jerry was just like questioning everything God did. Yeah. I was like, I would watch an entire show of that.
Yeah, that was really great as well. But yeah, I don't know, just because they introduced how, Dagmar's family line, some of them go crazy, and you were like, oh, this was out of nowhere, and then it's like, oh, we have this weird satanic crown, and we owe a debt to Satan, or to hell. Yeah. And then it's just like, I was just like, well, what happened? What's going on?
In all fairness, let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I was going to say, because it does give the audience whiplash a bit, but it also, Bean is kind of going through that same whiplash, so maybe it was to put you in the mindset of Bean being like all over the place and not really knowing who to trust and what to do.
I just felt like it seemed like almost a method to just get back to the status quo. Yeah. And I was kind of like, no, you keep this going. It's interesting and fun and weird, right? Like our characters are in a.
You know what I think?
In a weird situation.
Maybe they have an end goal in mind and they wanted to stretch it out to make that.
Third season.
The third season climax, like the end of series climax. Sure. So I feel like maybe they did it that way to introduce more status quo, to kind of up the stakes even a little bit, so that when season 3 ends, it's more impactful.
Yeah, and it can almost be watched as like 1, 2, 3, and then it would all like be a continuum. very possible as well. And it wouldn't shock me because a lot of these producers are quite detail-oriented people, and
Yes.
they really like their stuff. But yeah, the everything about episode 1 I just loved.
Yeah.
Except for essentially the fact that it ended in the way it did, because I was like, oh no, I want to spend more time in this weird place. Like, it's super cool. Because then episode 2, like, they go to hell, and it was so good.
At the end of season 1, Elfo dies, and Bean has the opportunity to resurrect one person, and she chooses her mom, who's been dead for several years, over her friend Elfo.
Yeah.
So Elfo goes to heaven, and Bean and Luci, the demon, Luci explains that he can bring Elfo back to life, but he can't bring him back from heaven. He has to bring him back from hell. So they contact him, and then they decide to meet in hell.
Yes, they tell him literally go to hell. Yeah. No. I know I say that a lot, but literally go. Yeah. Because then in the next episode,
they're in hell.
They're going down to hell, and then
I loved everything about hell.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I would have spent like 3 episodes in hell because I liked it.
Yeah, the animation of the stairs sequence and just like all of the look of it was really great.
It looked amazing. It was very cool, like design, I guess.
Sure.
I mean, it was like a typical hell, but I liked that each person's individual hell was rewatching the worst moment of their life on like repeat.
Because they meet the Hansel and Gretel character.
Yeah. And then like Elfo's watching, and it's Bean choosing her mother over Elfo, and then Bean's hell is watching
that
Elfo watching that. Yeah.
And even when they encounter, was it Asmodeus? Yeah. Asmodeum in the big book of the dead or whatever. And I liked how... So Bean's wearing like a demon costume. Yeah. And she's taken as a superior demon just because she's like bigger.
She's taller than
she's
Luci.
taller than Luci. Because they first meet those and they're like, who's your superior here?
I also loved that when they meet the 2 demons.
At the door,
they're like, what kind of demon are you? And she's like, I'm the clingy type.
Yeah, she's like, I'm the worst demon. She's like, what are you doing later? He's like, oh, just get out of here.
You've shown interest in me. Now I'm never going to let you go.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. I also laughed a lot at that as well. And then, of course, Elfo trying to get kicked out of heaven was quite comical.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this idol. It's so graven. It's so much better than you.
He's like, I'm going to have sex with it. And God's like, I'm waiting.
Yeah. All right. And Jerry, of course, is there. Yeah, that was funny. And then Zog, though, he's all alone. And I gotta mention, because in that one he does the bite my shiny metal axe, which of course is same guy who voices Bender, and his line is bite my shiny metal ass.
Nice.
So made me chuckle. Inside joke to Futurama, which there's always a bunch of them in this show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody at the end of season 1 got turned to stone in Dreamland.
Except for Zog.
And I guess... Merkimer the pig.
The pig. He's like, I was elsewhere.
Man, I love that voice. They picked the right voice actor for that.
I'm glad that he's stuck around as a character. Yeah. I thought he was in that first...
They could have just written him out.
Yeah, he was in those first 2 episodes, and they could have easily just got rid of him.
He was in the IT crowd as the younger boss, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And then Noel Gallagher does the voice of the Executioner, which I didn't realize until the season. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. From the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
Also from the IT crowd.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Well, episode 3 is when they're all awake and they head back to Dreamland.
And Una!
and Una being a pirate, yes.
So, Bean's stepmom is a fish person.
Yes.
And she, in season 1, for most of the season, she was kind of a background character.
Yes.
But I loved her because everything she did was silly and hilarious.
Yeah, she was always like skulking on a wall or something. Yeah.
But then in season 2, she tries to help Bean and nobody, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, she realizes that what she's always wanted to be was like, what was it, like an Amazonian fish person or something?
Yeah, some adventurer, a warrior and such.
So she becomes a pirate queen, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah, and Zog and Una get a divorce, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then they find Derek alive in the tower.
Eating seagulls.
Yeah. which was
That's so sad.
hilarious.
I'm just gonna assume people know what's going on.
Yeah, I assume people know, for the most part, what's going on. I don't know, that episode really just kind of was like
tying up some loose ends. They the people became unstoned.
Yeah, they
and the elves moved into the city.
Yeah, so the captain of the ship was Levo the elf, and then they make a deal, they go back, and then they resurrect all of Dreamland. And because he finds something, but we're never shown what.
I think it's linked to what happens at the end of the last episode.
I agree as well, but also it was like one of those things I was talking about that was like, what's going on? And then, the elves move into Dreamland, which again, I was like...
I wasn't sure why they moved into Dreamland, why they didn't just go back to their enchanted forest after.
Correct. That's one of my notes.
Although it seems shitty in Dreamland.
Yes. Because the next episode, or not that's the next one, but the Lonely Heart is the Hunter was pretty funny, where Zog goes...
Oh yeah, he meets a Selkie.
A Selkie, yes.
Yeah, and she is a bear woman.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with her. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Seems cool.
That one also has the cool element with Dagmar in Bean's dreams with the music box.
Oh yes. Which isn't totally explained either.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all these loose ends.
But yeah, she's trying to solve this mystery, and the same
time. What did I watch where I was like, oh no. It was
that podcast?
It was that podcast, The Black Tapes, where I'm like, oh, they're going to tie up all these loose ends. No, we're adding more. No.
Yeah, exactly. Classic, Zog wants to keep her around, takes away her fur so she can't transform into a bear. She gets sad. Gives it back to her, so she can go be a bear again.
And she runs away.
Which was like so well executed, because he's like giving this long, actual, like heartfelt speech, and she's already gone.
Running towards the forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was just a classic comedy cutaway.
I liked her as a character, though.
Yeah. The dancing scene.
The dancing scene was great, but it was also, there's that like very short heartfelt scene where she's scratching her back on the post, and then Bean joins her, and they kind of have like a little bit of a moment, and I was like, oh, that's actually really sweet.
It was quite sweet, because Bean's like, I can get a servant to do that for you. And she's like, no, this is so much better.
It was like a nice little connection that she didn't necessarily have with Una, because I guess Una came into her life when she was so young. And, yeah. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was sweet. I thought it was like Bean making an effort to help her dad be happy.
Well, because even I like the line when she's like, Zog is like, I gotta tell you, she's a bear. And she's like, well, she's a large woman. No, she's literally a bear. So that was classically done there. But yeah, so the stuff with the music box and the Dagmar and the dreams was great and really, executed well, but it's also just like, what is happening?
It all will make sense in part 3.
I hope so. The next episode was one of my favorite, I think, was called Our Bodies Are Elves, and that's where they have wash day.
Oh, really? That was your favorite?
One of my favorites.
Okay.
Because they have wash day, and all the elves get sick because all the water
runs down into the elf land.
And then one elf's like, oh, it's some sort of gravy, and he's like drinking it. I was like, oh god, this is just getting ridiculous.
There's like one scene where all the elves are like frolicking in the water, and it goes off screen, and then they come back like all like
just floating
like corpses.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, so stuff like that was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. And then they do like they're like, oh, we need the legend berries, and then they got the Jaws guy who's like, I'll get you the berries.
And it turns out to be a fraud. Elfo gets a moment of heroicism against the ogres.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They get the berries.
Well, even just to backtrack before that,
no backtracking here, Dad. Move forward.
But with the 2 parts, let's say, they've always been teasing with the dad, like his story about Elmo's mom. He's like, Elfo, my boy, I'll tell you the story, and then he gets sick and just goes into a coma. Which I think is funny stuff, right?
So the giant was his mom, right?
I think it's because he says that his mom's dead, and that it was his dad's fault.
But the Queen of the Giants knew who he was.
Well, Queen of the Ogres.
Or whatever the fuck they were.
So maybe it was an ogre she knew. Maybe not necessarily her.
Gotcha.
Right.
Maybe he lied about her being dead.
And also maybe he lied about her being dead. So it's a possible reveal. But like Devin was saying...
Because he stole his tuition, yeah.
They get the legend berries and they get out of there. But the Elfo heroicism stuff's hilarious.
Oh my god!
The way he just starts, he's like, prepare for mad Elfo. It's like
it's all just accidents.
Yeah, it's all just accidents the entire time.
Which is like in season 1 when he's against the giants, right? And it's like a big war with the giants and the gnomes.
Yeah.
And he just accidentally wins.
Yes. And they bring that guy back who got the ogre who got stabbed in the eyes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought that episode had a lot of like good comedy. I felt like in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think I'd watched like 6 in a row at that point.
Nice.
And I was starting to fade in and out of consciousness.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because all this stuff with even Wade Brody Jr. and he's all like the bluster and then just like his tails and
then it's just it's from the Tales for Timid Boys.
Yeah. Exactly right. So and the animation on the vine sequence was really good as well.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I kind of just like anything with the Timid Boys in the title.
Fair enough. Yeah. Next episode. I mean, they're all varied, but the Dreamland job with the robbery.
Oh yeah. The circus.
The circus, yeah.
It was the trolls.
It was the trolls who were trolling her.
I didn't connect that till right then.
Because here was one thing that was bothering me the whole time when they were like talking and they're like, oh, they've got Grifto and stuff like that, and I was like, Elfo knows all the elves. He would know who these people are or aren't, right? Like, shouldn't he? Like we've never been shown that there are other elves.
Okay, but I am 100% okay with glossing over all of that for the one point where like Bean's like, why aren't you scared, Elfo? And he's like, I don't feel anything anymore because of you.
Because of our life?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Anytime Elfo gets sad, I like it.
Yeah. Well, then even back in episode 2 when he's rowing the boat or whatever, and then they're all just like, oh, maybe because my best friend left me to die.
Yeah. I like progressively jaded Elfo. That's what I like.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
No.
Also, we forgot to mention in the Selkie episode that Luci and Kisso had a fling. Kissy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Elfo the whole time's like, she doesn't like you, man.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to bring that up because like, when did that happen? I'm like, oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I like when Elfo he just stops feeling. I don't know why. I think it's so funny.
Sure, that's fair. No, that moment in that episode was pretty hilarious.
It was worth it.
Yeah, because the job, there's a hiccup, and then she's like, why aren't you freaking out?
No, somebody dies.
Yes, well, it was
that was a hiccup.
in the job.
And she's like, why are you freaking out? And it's just like, I don't feel anything anymore. Like, great. More of that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so they have a circus, and Bean wants to steal all the money, or help they all steal the money that is being stolen. Essentially through heavy taxation.
So they want to give the money back to the elves.
Yeah.
And then it all works out in the end.
Yeah, because Zog sees the circus and he's like, oh, you know what? The elves are actually pretty great. Why am I doing this? Let's give back the money.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Luci figured it out and
double swindled them, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a strange episode of the overarching plot, but worth it for that one...
For that moment?
That one moment.
Oh, yeah,
it's like... Because sometimes little moments stick in your head, and it's like that one moment in The Simpsons with the robot that's on fire, and it's like, why was he programmed to feel pain?
Yeah.
I don't even know what episode it's from, but it's this shining glory.
It is pretty hilarious.
The sparkling jewel on the crown of The Simpsons. For me, it's my favorite line. It's my favorite moment.
It's a good line. Yeah, it's a great one.
Because why would you program it to feel pain? It's so sadistic.
Yeah. And if you think you can program it to feel pain, like it's like programming be so advanced and like it'd be like a self-aware AI.
It's just those little like wheelie like
it's got like cardboard arms.
Yeah. So good. Okay.
Well, the next one was Love's Slimy Embrace, sorry.
Oh, with the octopus.
With the octopus, yeah.
And Derek. And they're best friends.
And and Zog trying to contract a disease to look like a king.
Oh yeah, he wanted to get gout so he could be more kingly.
Yes.
Because it's a king's disease.
Yes, because you're slovenly and not moving and stuff.
That was a weird episode.
It very much was a weird episode.
Yeah, on second thought, we didn't even get Elfo being sad, but we did get Elfo and Derek being friends.
Yeah.
What was Bean doing that episode?
She was just trying to avoid Derek, and then eventually she rescues him, which was a great sequence when she scoops out the underwater algae that glows, and then they swim down and then go to the octopus's lair and rescue him.
I didn't think I was on my phone at that. I don't.
Well, when Derek gets kidnapped, Bean and Elfo go rescue him.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, really? I also really liked there was a moment earlier in that episode.
Skip it?
I don't know, do you want to read a brief synopsis here?
I remember when the other king got skewered.
Right, that did happen.
No, I don't want to read it.
Okay.
What do you think I am?
Some sort of...
You know what? I think So I watched 8 episodes yesterday and 2 episodes today.
Yeah, there's some blur there. No, there was a great line early in that episode I liked when they're at the bar and Elfo's like, wow, it must be really annoying when, somebody is small and trying to, get your attention all the time and follow you around. Isn't that annoying? Isn't it? Isn't it, Bean? Isn't it annoying? Which I thought was comedy.
While Luci was pouring 6 shots of demon piss.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. This was part of my issue with this show was this episode really didn't have much going for it. A little bit of a good moment between Bean and Derek.
It does tie into the last episode a little bit.
That's what I was saying.
Because it kind of gives you some backstory on their relationship.
Yes. Which was, I like that when she's riding Bunty. And
oh my god, yeah, that was hilarious.
Don't worry, when we rise up, we'll kill you all. Yeah. But this led to, I really like this episode in her own right, where she writes a play.
That was a good episode.
Yes.
I was thinking it was a different episode.
That's alright, yeah, okay. Yeah, so...
That was a great episode, actually. I really liked it.
Me too.
It was very sweet.
Yeah, so she becomes a writer, she writes her own play, she's goes to the playhouse and then finds out women can't work in theater.
Yeah. So what's his name? Merkimer goes at her place because pigs can.
Because pigs. That's such a great line where he's like, I hear women can't work. Can pigs? He's like, yeah, I said come on in. He's like, I'm literally covered in my own filth. Yeah, I said come on in. Yeah.
It's so good.
So Bean writes a play. Mercury wants to put it on, but he changes it, and then it gets weird. And then she goes to a coffee house.
Yeah, and she starts kind of
slam poetry,
which her dad overhears, and they have a lovely moment.
Yeah, no, I really liked the whole episode. Really.
Yeah.
It
was really good.
And all of Lucy's writer demon stuff.
Oh my god, I loved that.
Maybe you should take a break. She's like, no, I'm gonna keep going.
When she finishes, he's like, we should celebrate by killing yourself.
Yeah, celebrate with a little suicide. And even when he's like, maybe you should write a play. And she's like, what, like a one-woman show? He's like, God, no, I'm trying to help your career. And I like when she's reading it and then, to Bunty and stuff like that. And her husband's like, oh, it was a tour de force or whatever. And she's like, I haven't been able to sit down like this my whole life.
It was great.
Yeah, so I don't know. Anything more to say really about that episode in your opinion?
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it as well.
What was Elfo doing? Oh, he was in the play. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because
initially he was sent as he's like, I'll go spy. And then he ends up in the play.
But yet the actor playing Dagmar dies from lead poisoning from the makeup. Great. I love it.
The plague doctor, he's like, I've seen this before. Death.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
The plague doctor looked great too.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Which then that led to The Electric Princess.
My favorite episode.
Which I assumed was your favorite episode. Yeah.
Because it's a steampunk episode and that kingdom looks so fucking cool.
It looked really good.
Everything was good about it.
Yeah. A lot of good background details in it and
oh my God.
All sorts of good signage and everything all active in it.
Oh, totally. It was so cool.
Yeah. So what happens is a dragon comes and attacks. And then some knights go after it, and Bean goes along. Yeah. And she ends up shooting it down.
Well, before I don't know, at some point, they treat her and they're like, oh, you're a girl. You can't do things. Anyways, she shoots it down. Shoots down the airship.
And it's an airship, yeah.
And there's a guy inside. They take him prisoner. Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah.
Because they don't understand the science.
Yeah, there's some good jokes in this one.
Yeah. And, it's in one of those scenes when they're going to interrogate him, too. And then she's like, girls aren't allowed.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. They think it's magic. Yeah. And they're like, think he's going to turn into it. Okay, you know what got me?
The Cesario with the powder?
Yeah, when he throws powder in his face, he's like, I've stopped him from being able to turn into a dragon.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, so good.
It's so medieval and just hilarious.
Yeah.
And they think his firearm is some sort of dragon whistle.
Yeah, they're all putting it in his mouth.
Yeah, they're all blowing on it and stuff like that. And it's like, or it's a hammer. A dragon summoning hammer.
And then, what's his name?
Which one?
The wizard?
Cesario's
like, the powder made the dragon hammer not work, too.
But yeah, and then Bean helps them escape, so then they can... there's a great, again, Futurama callback when she's searching the airship and she pulls out a drawer full of wire. That's a Farnsworth joke from Futurama.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I thought it was really cute when he was showing her how to make the radio, and he's like, you have to do it so you learn. And they're like, oh, that's kind of cool. So they escape. Mm-hmm. They go to Steamland.
Well, first he tries to ditch her, essentially.
Yeah, but she doesn't let him.
Yeah, she doesn't let him, and then they go to Steamland.
Yeah, and Steamland is very cool.
Mm-hmm. And I was similar to the Hell. Obviously, I assume it's a mix of drawn and computer animated and stuff like that, but just like the elements blend so well together.
And it looks so cool. The colors were cool. Mm-hmm. Like all the character designs that they had to do for even the background was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Bean finds out that Steam guy.
Yeah, I think I got his name down here.
Fred? Steve.
Skybert. Apparently, yeah.
Was actually there to deliver a weapon to kill the king.
Yes.
She escapes in an airship. It gets shot down. Mm-hmm.
So her fight with Skybert, great.
Yeah.
And because she's just like, screw you, kind of thing, right? And then when she's approaching, they're like, now the dragon has turned into a giant bee.
Yeah, and then she's yelling.
She's like, it's me.
Don't shoot it down, it's a bee.
Yeah, and they're like, all I hear is, it's a bee.
So she brings she goes to explain what was going on.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a wrestle for the gun.
Scuffle. Yeah.
And she ends up shooting her dad.
Yeah. It goes off and ends up shooting. Because she's like, I don't want to give it to somebody. We can't trust anybody. And they're like, give us the gun.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, except they think it's a magic wand.
Well, yes.
And, so, yeah. That leads into this is episode 10.
Episode 10. Tiabini Falls, it's called. Yeah. And yeah, it just picks up immediately right afterwards. Should I take that sentence again?
I just did that to bug you. Okay. And I want to turn this into an ASMR podcast where we just eat and drink things.
I think that'd be a different show.
Into the mic. That's the... Now that we've hit 50, this is what I want. Okay, sorry. Back to the thing.
So it picks up right away, and Zog is being taken away for the finest medical treatment that they can find.
Oh my god, when they put him in the little fence around him and they dump the rats in.
Yeah. I like his logic. It's like, everyone knows rats are disease carrying. These watched rats will suck the disease out.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so that's how they used to do medicine.
Yeah. You're like, yep, okay.
More leeches.
More leeches. And then even when he's like, you sweeper girl, come take off the bandage. And she's like, shouldn't I wash my hands? And he's like, and get rid of all the life-giving soot. Yeah, classic stuff there. And so yeah, they arrest Bean, imprison her, saying that she was part of the plot, and that she's a witch. Well, and then I thought it was a weird kind of turn, because it was Oddball suddenly is like, I can be regent as long as there's no more Zog, and Bean's out of the way. Yeah. So we'll say she's a witch, you get out there and start Riling up the populace.
What's the high priestess's name?
I got her name here. It's just Druidess.
So I kind of want to do a cosplay of her.
Yeah.
I think that would be rad.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And I like all the times they always do something with their religion when, like, even when she's getting married, or even this one, they're like, whatever god or gods, or he or she, whatever, we don't know. What is this religion?
Yeah. So good.
And then because even when they leave that, then the one guy's like, finally, scapegoating, this religion's going somewhere. Which I thought was a great line.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, they want to pin it all. Oops. No, I'm the one making crazy noise.
ASMR!
Pin it all on Bean and say she's a witch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
And there's going to be a trial, and King Derek, even though Zog's not dead yet, is going to preside over it.
They crown Derek, which is great because they have him say free of influence, but they have to feed him the line.
Yes.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
So clever. I love it.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like some of these jokes, they're like obvious, but they're executed in like that quick comedy way where you're like, it still gets to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it still makes you laugh.
I don't mind an obvious joke.
No, I'm not down on it. I'm enjoying the jokes, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's
what
like
I was watching a video recently on this is not related.
Oh, I was gonna say about comedy and jokes.
It was about comedy, but it was about using like framing and editing for comedy, and they were specifically
like Edgar Wright stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think you've probably seen that video.
Maybe. I know Nerdwriter did one about it, and it was really good.
Maybe it was
more about transitions, not comedy effect, I think.
Oh yeah, I watched that one too.
Yeah.
Actually, in that video, he references this video.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and so it was talking about like how if you have a character leaving or coming into the screen, there's like an opportunity for a joke there.
Yeah, like Kramer and Seinfeld.
Yeah, or like
famously.
They give a bunch of examples.
Oh.
I can't remember any.
Oh.
But it was like brain not working. One of the examples I gave was like you could talk about a character not drinking when everyone else is drinking, or you could show it like in World's End when they're filling up all the beers and then one of them's water.
Yes.
But I feel like in a similar way, this show does that, and they're obvious jokes, but they're well executed.
Sure.
And it's not just a static screen because there's always stuff going on.
Well, and even just when Zog with Ursula, he's like, is that giving an impassioned speech? But
Yeah,
she's already
and then
gone.
she's already gone, yeah.
Right? And that's just like, that same kind of comedy, right? Like
Totally. And I love that kind of comedy.
Sure.
It's like I've said a million times, and BoJack always does it, where somebody starts or says a sentence, and then they immediately cut to somebody saying the opposite thing.
Contradicting it, or just like, oh, I didn't do that.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite kind of comedy. And it's super fucking obvious, but it's not difficult to do, but it gets me every time.
Sure, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, and this episode really goes along well. Basically, the torture device is like they hook up her wheel.
Spinner, yeah.
And then it's just hitting her in the head, and Elfo and Luci are going to be her lawyers to represent her at trial.
Yeah.
Which, of course, goes extremely well.
Goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But Derek still isn't sure if he wants to sentence her to death.
Well, just during the trial sequence, they get Elfo up there.
Oh, God.
And then he's like, oh, Bean's the best. She came to hell to go get me. And then he's like, wait, you were in hell? and then Bean's like, no, Elfo, don't tell the story. They won't get it. And he's just like, she's clearly a witch. She was more underhanded than the demons themselves. So good.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And then even Lucy's closing arguments, just like, I may be a simple demonic cat, but, oh man, just good stuff.
So good.
But yeah, Derek's leaning towards maybe not guilty, because he's like, she rescued me. I don't think she would try to kill Zog, and then he just tromps all over him, which was hilarious.
Yeah, that was great. And then Bean, Elfo, and Luci are in prison.
Yeah.
The executioner frees them.
Yeah.
Noel Gallagher. No, not Noel Gallagher. What's his name?
I don't know. I thought you were referring to Noel Gallagher, the guy from Oasis, and I was like, what the hell?
No, I said the wrong name. Noel Fielding.
Oh.
Noel Fielding from The Mighty Boosh and the IT Crowd.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
See, because I didn't know his name, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's funny. I really like watching clips of the Big Fat Quiz. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
You've told me about it.
He's so funny on them. Yeah. Anyways.
So, yeah, they get freed.
And
instead of escaping, Bean's like, I gotta go help my dad.
Yeah, so she goes to remove the bullet to...
Help him heal.
And not die of infection.
Yeah.
Which I don't really know when she learned how to do that, but that's okay.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, it's modern medicine. I learned it from, that guy. And I was like, we didn't see that. Maybe, I guess.
We kind of got her getting ointment for her cut.
Yeah.
And that was the closest.
Sure.
But they get caught red-handed. And
dagger over
him, bloody, right?
Yeah.
So Derek decides she's guilty.
Yeah.
They get strapped to a stake. Bean and Elfo find out that Luci lost his powers when he opted to save them from hell.
Yeah.
So he's not immortal, so the stakes are way higher.
Everyone's gonna die.
They light the fire.
Yeah.
You think for a second Dog's gonna help them, but he's just like, oh, nice fire.
Yeah. That was hilarious, because that's exactly it. You're like, oh, maybe he'll see it and do something, and then he's just like, oh, how nice. Fire.
But then the thing that they're strapped to falls underground.
Well, first there's a flare-up of fire with Dagmar's face.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, it's very fast, because they don't see that fall. The populace don't see it, because there's like a ring of fire that appears, and then it falls. So it's like... They probably think that they succeeded in killing him, right?
So it falls. Mm-hmm. And then they're in the dark, and there's all these spooky elves.
They're called the Trogs.
Oh, well, they look like spooky elves.
Yeah, because I had to get that from Wikipedia.
Oh, okay.
They were not called Trogs in the show.
I think they're called spooky elves.
Right now, spooky elves works, yeah.
They're very pale, and they have glowy eyes.
Yes.
And then Dagmar comes out.
Well, the music starts, and then Dagmar comes out.
And Dagmar is like, what, no hug for your mom?
Yeah. Which was great.
Yeah, and then it ends.
And then it just ends. And I was like, Gah!
And I was like, oh, yes, part 3.
Yeah. That was immediately what I at least looked up, because I was like, if there's no part 3...
That's just
fuck this. but there's gonna be a part 3.
I think it'll be the last part, and they'll just wrap everything up.
I can see it. Yeah. I'd be totally fine with that.
I would also cosplay as Bean on a side note, and I've seen some good Bean cosplays. But
I took a picture of that one girl.
Oh yeah. Is it on our website?
It is.
Oh, so you mean you can go to www.tomeofuselessness.com to look at it?
Yes.
This episode is brought to you by us.
By us and our website. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll leave.
No, like I was saying earlier, when she's searching for all that Maruvian symbols, and then she goes into a dark cave, and then her torch just gets blown out, and then she runs away. That's in the bear episode.
Right.
And then it never brought up again until literally this moment, but I was like, she never investigated again? Like,
yeah, it does feel like there's some loose ends, but I'm hoping they tie them all together in part 3.
I would be very confident that they will as well.
I'm optimistic.
Like I said, I just felt for me that the story, the way it was being presented, I was just expecting full on, like, each episode leading into the next, giving us, like, a big overarching story where it was more like early or David Tennant Doctor Who style, where it was like the same continuum, and then the last couple episodes has a big thing, and you're like, oh, whoa, okay, some of those things made sense, except for then when they started spelling it out. But
the Matt Smith years.
The Matt Smith years, yes. But I wasn't disappointed. I was just like, I want more, right?
Totally, yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I really like the show. I was way more invested in the characters this season. Mm-hmm.
I did feel, unfortunately, that Luci had less to do.
Yeah.
Because in the first season, he's, of course, her personal demon influencing her to try to mess things up so she can get brought to Maru.
So he's voiced by Eric Andre, correct?
Yes.
And he has his own show.
Yes.
So maybe it was a
it could be a scheduling issue, as well. But, I mean, he's still in every episode and still comprises
great, hey?
much of the dialogue. So.
Yeah.
Except for the one time when they go on the adventure for the legend berries and then comes back and is like, did we miss anything or whatever? When when Bean goes to Steamland, she comes back. Right. She's like, "You miss anything?" He's like, "You were gone."
Yeah. Oh, that's when him and Elfo get
live together. Yeah. The classic odd couple.
Yeah. And they have that weird pancake goose scene. Yeah. It's great.
It's so random, but so great. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I don't know. Anything more you want to say about any of the episodes?
Who voices Elfo?
I believe his name is Nat Fexon.
No idea who that is.
Also, I do not know. And then the woman does, Abby Jacobson does Bean.
Who's that?
I was looking up her IMDb page, and she has done a ton of voice work, as well as she's done some comedy stuff, and she's been in a couple movies like you'd recognize. Like she was in The Neighbors 2 as one of the sorority people, and she's been in some work and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like like her IMDb page is tons of voice work though as well. So good for her.
Really like her voice for Bean.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a good. They picked the right voice.
I feel like all of her whoa takes are like great. They're so weird, and she's always like whoa or whatever, right? Like, it's just like the way her voice inflection goes with it.
It's good, yeah.
It goes well. I don't know.
Who's your favorite character, Dan? If you had to pick one. Una.
Unfortunately, Una wasn't in the show very much.
I know, I love Una so much, but the stuff she was in was beautiful.
It was quite good. I don't know what my favorite character would be.
I really like all the way the characters are designed. Like, they very much have personalities that you can, like, see from looking at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and it's obviously evolved from Simpsons design to Futurama designs to this.
Yeah.
So...
But, like, Bean and her, like, her pants and her tunic and, like, Dagmar kind of, like, in season 1, she more had, like, an updo and, like, fancy dresses, where in this one she's kind of got more of a slender cut and her hair's always down.
And she looks like a sorcerer/witch.
She looks like a witch, right?
Yeah.
And, like, Una, even, like, when she goes from being kind of, like, a... almost Morticia Addams style queen to like the pirate queen. Mm-hmm. It's a good, like it's they're all interesting to look at, right? Like even Zog kind of looking like a schluppy king. Yeah. You know, I don't know. I think they've done a very excellent job with the design of the character to like give you a shortcut to their personality.
Yeah. No, I like so many elements about the show, and that's why...
And the soundtrack is great.
Yes.
It's so weird.
It is really weird. I really do like the opening credit sequence soundtrack. Yeah. Like, it's weird, like the mix of instruments and just... Like
it's like a little bit noisy, but like in a good way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it does... It kind of like feels like Bean and Elfo and Luci, like it kind of has that kind of like weird... not totally perfectly matched, kind of stumbling their way through life feel. Like, I don't know, I like it a lot. Yeah,
I really enjoyed it as well, and some of the elements that, like I was saying, just the tease of Elfo's parentage going on for 2 seasons with his dad, and then it's never revisited again, even though his dad's better, and just some of the stuff, like it was great in season 1 when we finally got to meet Dagmar, even that it was like, oh wow, this is gonna be cool, and then it turns out she's just evil, and you're like, I love it. Yeah, it was great, and just because I like when Bean's doing her slam poetry and she's like, oh man, you never know that your weird fish stepmother was the better one and everyone got turned to stone or whatever, and she's like, yeah, but Una did that, and she's like, no, Dagmar lied, and you're like, yeah, Dagmar said Una did it, and she's like, no, Dagmar lied about it. I just loved that. They were like, yeah, Una did that, and she's like, no.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, and just like a lot of like little funny moments where Mercury tries to pay her, like give the fee for the play, and it's like Bean's on the coin, and she's like, you're paying me with me.
Yeah. I also just like, it's a random shot that I just really liked was when Una was tied up underwater with her hair kind of flowing. It was just looked really cool.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, this was nice to be alone, but time to get back going or whatever. Yeah. She just escapes. Even Derek, when he was like, oh, maybe I'll go drown, and he's like, oh, I'm amphibian.
He's like, maybe I'll go walk into the ocean and drown.
Yeah. He's like, I'm amphibian. It's just like so random. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Great show, great moments, great jokes overall. I felt, like I said, because of my story expectations, there was some. I was like, oh, this is kind of filler. Like what's like, especially because it was like story, and then it was like, oh, sort of, and I was like, wait, it was just almost jarring, and then it was like, okay, now we're into some standalone adventures, and then it's like, oh, okay, story, which is how kind of the first
that
season.
I'm usually like the first person to complain about filler.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way.
Oh, that's great.
Too, so
yeah, that's great. Clearly a sign that they've done a good job.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the voice cast, like we were just alluding to earlier. Of course, the show developed by Matt Groening and Josh Weinstein, Abby Jacobson, Eric Andre, Nat, or Nate. I think it's Nat.
Noel Fielding.
Yeah.
Not Gallagher.
John DiMaggio, of course, Tress MacNeille, Matt Berry, David Herman, Maurice LaMarche, Luci Montgomery, Billy West, Noel Fielding, like I said, and Sharon Horgan, and of course Phil LaMarr comes in there as well. All people they've worked with in the past, for the most part. Like all these other characters, like the three main, of course Eric Andre may have done other stuff, but I don't think he worked with them in the past. But he's
great as Luci though.
Oh yeah, he's really good. Yeah. But all these other people, it's just like all standout voice work characters.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But I thought this was kind of interesting for some of the writing credits, because I was looking up like who's writing, and there was 3 people who've written 20 episodes. And everyone else below that has written either 3, 2, or 1 only.
Okay.
Matt Groening gets the main credit because he's created the show.
Yeah.
But this person, Jamie Angel, does 20 episodes. Jeff Rowe, 20, and Shion Tae Kuuchi, which I probably butchered, sorry, also did 20 episodes. So only these 3 people have done
the majority.
Oh,
all of them.
Or all of them in some way.
Yeah.
Because there's only 20 episodes.
Yeah.
I just realized that. But they've given Matt Groening credit for 39, so they've written all of it. There you go.
Interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Oh yeah, and it even says to 2021. So, wait, it's not till 2021? Ah, spoilers. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get it in
39? I guess they're doing 4 parts then.
Yeah, because that'd be 40.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what, maybe an idea to do that. I don't know. This is unconfirmed IMDb stuff right now.
Maybe Matt wrote 40 episodes.
And then to pare it down.
And they cut out 20 because they were bad.
Okay. That's how you make a better product, right?
Totally.
You cut the crap. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting that these 3 people have done at this point all the episodes.
That makes sense. It's probably good to have like a core of people that are anchored to the show and can make sure that your characters sound like your characters.
Yeah. And then of course, like for the producers, it's all the Futurama people. Like if you've watched Futurama, you know them all. Claudia Katz, David X. Cohen, blah 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 blah. The list goes on. It's all the same.
Blah 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 blah.
It's all the same people that he liked to work with and who enjoyed working with him previously.
Makes sense.
Bring him back. Right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So I don't know. They do a great job, like you say. I mean,
every time you throw a page down, do you know what it reminds me of?
I do not.
The 1981 or 82 movie of Annie. Because there's like one scene where Daddy Warbucks goes on the radio to help find Annie's parents, and he's reading the script.
Oh, really?
And he's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, drop page. And then the host grabs it and drops it on the ground, and that's what it reminds me of. Sorry.
Okay. That's fair.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
For the 4 people who have seen that movie that are still alive. You haven't seen Annie?
Maybe like bits and pieces.
Oh, man. Tim Curry's in it.
Oh, cool.
And Carol Burnett.
Nice.
It's so good.
Right.
I watched it the other day.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, everyone should go watch that because it's on Netflix. We're going to... Next episode, Annie. Staying topical.
Very topical. Yeah.
We'll watch the 1980s Annie, and then we can watch the
recent one, right?
The recent one.
Yeah, they did do one recently.
Yeah, with Cameron...
Jamie Foxx?
Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz as Miss Hannigan.
Right.
Jamie Foxx is Daddy Warbucks.
Yes.
Daddy Warbucks sounds different when you say it today.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to this Disenfranchised.
No, Disenchantment is the show. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I had some qualms with it, but I think I've told them already of the issues I had with the show. But that would not stop me from recommending someone watch the show.
I liked it. The animation is pretty and it's funny.
Yeah.
The story's good.
Yeah.
Characters are good.
It's 10 episodes of like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You bang through this.
You got time. Go watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you haven't already.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's much more, unless you want to say or touch on anything else about the show.
I don't want to, but wasn't there something you wanted to talk to about not related to the show?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we're finished about Disenchantment.
Yeah, we're done now. Go watch it.
Jeez. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, we've always mentioned at the end of our episodes, if you ever get there, that there's ways to contact us, and we did have someone reach out to us by the name of Thomas M. And he emailed in some topic suggestions, which was great, and we appreciate it.
We do. And Thomas, we will try to incorporate those suggestions at some point. Mm-hmm. We don't know when. It's a lot of watching to catch up.
Sure, yeah. And I don't think either of us are experts in these fields, as it were.
I know a lot about Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. Well, me too, but not as much compared to others.
Not recent Who.
Yeah, exactly right. So
I mean, I'd have to watch all of Capaldi and Jodie.
Yeah, me too. And most of Matt Smith's. So.
Are you done finish Maddie?
No. I stopped after the Impossible Girl.
You know what
episode.
We should just rewatch all of Tennant stuff and do an episode on that, because that's all that matters.
I think that could be controversial opinion to some
Don't at me, Whovians.
But yes, we did appreciate the topic suggestions. We're always looking for ideas, because sometimes we're not sure. But we enjoy doing the show, and we're happy.
I do happen to be married to somebody who's an expert on the other two. So he suggested we were going to keep it secret, but we're not. So Doctor Who, Power Rangers, and Pokemon. And my husband Tony happens to be an expert on Power Rangers and Pokemon.
Yeah, so we could do a guest spot with him.
So we can maybe bring him in for a special episode.
Yeah. And we did do the Detective Pikachu episode.
We did, yeah that's right.
Yeah. And
I have seen more than one of the animated movies.
There you go. That's more than me. I don't think I've seen any of the animated movies.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen the show, and I played the video games.
You didn't watch the first Pokemon movie? That
Pokemon
came out
2000, I think it was?
Yeah, that came out in North America, and it was called Pokemon the First Movie or something.
But it wasn't the first movie?
But it wasn't the first movie?
Second movie?
It was
no, I haven't seen any of the...
with Mewtwo?
Yeah, no, I didn't
the genetically altered Pokemon?
I think I saw pieces of it, like that when it was like broken up to appear like episodes of the show. Yeah. But I haven't seen the whole movie itself.
It's very complicated, the Mewtwo story. I don't remember that much, except they ended up in a cage and... Cave, not cage.
Yeah.
And Pikachu cries or something. And Ash dies.
I think I watched like a recap essentially of it.
Oh, and Mew is Jesus Pokemon and saves them.
And his idea, Mew is like gets them all on an island, and then there's gonna be some kind of battle, and then he's gonna like mind control a bunch of things or people. I think is his idea.
Yeah, because he's got people DNA in him.
Yes.
They spliced a person and a Pokemon.
Well, and Mew.
Yeah.
And then Pokemon Jesus.
Pokemon Jesus.
Yeah.
And other things happen.
But back to your point, I haven't seen those movies.
I watched some Christmas specials for Power Rangers.
Nice.
Because when Christmas, Tony and I were looking for Christmas things to watch, and we watched all the Power Rangers, which were all clip shows from shows that I've never watched.
Excellent. Yeah.
So I'm going off on a minor... Sorry, Thomas. So apparently... they filmed North American storyline, but they used Japanese fight scenes.
Yeah, that was how the show first started. Yeah.
No, they still do that.
Yeah, no, that's what it continues today.
Which is really funny.
It is funny
because some of the characters that are female in the show are necessarily female in the other show.
In the stunt work.
Yeah, and there's 20 billion different versions of Power Rangers. There was one where they're wizards because it was Harry Potter popularity.
Oh really?
There was one where they're on a train.
Nice.
Oh, or is that Kamen Rider? I might be getting them confused.
I honestly don't know.
Because Kamen Rider is Power Rangers, but they're bugs. They have bug faces.
No.
Yeah.
I'm unsure, sorry.
I don't know. I'll leave.
I'm not an expert in this field, unfortunately.
Fired. We'll get Tony to come talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to have him on to talk about these.
As in, we'll just leave him in front of a microphone and go out for coffee.
Perfect. But that leads to
how can people contact us if they want to make more suggestions?
Yeah, there's, of course, our Instagram, Twitter. Yep. Our website has links, but the email, tomeofuselessness@gmail.com.
We also have a Facebook fan page.
Yeah.
And what's our website? tomeofuselessness.com.
I did say that.
Did you?
Yes. It makes it easy.
Whoops.
Website and at Gmail.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So we would love to hear from you. We want your ideas.
Yeah.
Tell us what to do.
Questions, comments, ideas.
Yes.
Send them in.
That is it, right?
I think that's it. And again,
thank you for listening.
50 episodes.
Yeah, happy
it's been fun. And
silver anniversary. Gold anniversary.
And I hope to do more.
We should get a gold Yeti.
I don't want to pay for that.
That's fair. Neither do I. All right, bye.